Hey everyone, Chris here. It's Tuesday, December 15th, 2020. I guess I'm going to be having a lot of delays here, and I don't know why. So if I fade out at all during this live broadcast, I do apologize. There's really nothing I could do about it. Unfortunately, I never know when the stream is going to work 100% fine and when I'm going to possibly have issues with it. So then again, I do apologize. But today we're talking about why Kings Island will be more of a destination park in the future. What that means is their main focus is going to be on families and keeping people in the area instead of just building coasters and people doing a one-stop drop and then leaving. We saw this with the addition of Great Wolf Lodge back when it opened, and then the recent announcement of Camp Cedar that opens up in the spring of 2021, which shows you that Kings Island is more so focusing. And I think I'm doing it's doing it again. So if I'm fading in and out, like I said, I apologize. I use StreamYard. I'm looking at other services because I think part of it has to do with the fact that it's web based and not software based. And I think that could cause a little bit of issues sometimes using this software. But anyways, Camp Cedar was announced, and with Camp Cedar being announced, more people are going to want to stay longer at Kings Island. Obviously, in 2020, the water park did not open. With the water park not opening, a lot of people only wanted to go like one day and then leave. So, Cedar Point, Kings Island has to look at more ways of keeping people in the area to spend more money. So, what do? They come up with this wild idea. I think it was originally a development created by a regular developer, and then something fell through, and Kings Island decided to take over the project. But I'm going to go ahead and bring it up on the screen now so you guys could see what I'm talking about. It's a project called Camp Cedar. Now, am I okay? Looks like I'm doing good again. It's a project called Camp Cedar. So it's opening in the spring of 2021. Let's check it out. And then we'll talk about more what I'm talking about, why it's going to become more of a destination park. So you can see right here, this is the overview. And I'll show you some photos from our friends over at Buckeye Coasters here soon that'll showcase kind of what I'm talking about here in reference to this upcoming project that's going to open in the spring of 2021 and how big it actually is and where the location of it's at. So this is a luxury outdoor resort. As you can see right here, this is the luxury pool. This is the clubhouse. They have multiple RV sites, multiple cabins that are going to be opening with this. Here are some of the amenities on here. This is the Hornbeam Lodge. And they don't have pictures of that one yet, so hold on. There we go. Here's the cottages. This is renderings that they decided to do beforehand. So this is one of the cottages that they're opening for 2021. It's kind of like a miniature one, but it's going to have all this. It's going to sleep up to 8 and have all these amenities. That's one of them called the Hickory. Here's the Aspen, the Mulberry. I mean, you can see how luxurious these are. So these are going to want to keep people at Kings Island area for longer, spending more money. And I think that's why their main focus was to open this resort. These are the RV sites. And I'm trying to see if I could find out more on the actual, what it'll look like here. Okay, here we go. So I have more than this, just this, but you can see right here, this is a luxury pool. You have the waterfall over here. You kind of have the zero entry right here, zero entry right here. And you can see in the background right here, as I'm pointing the mouse, you can see whatever that is over there. I think that's a tennis court or whatever, but you can see here's Kings Island right here. So it's very close to the park. Let me bring up the map here to kind of show you. But if I was to bring up the map right now, you guys get more of an understanding where this place is actually at. Okay, so let's go to the satellite view and we're going to zoom out. So I'll show you how close this is. And then we'll kind of talk about what Kings Island seems to be doing and what I think their future plans are for the park. So, sorry, I ended up clicking on the wrong thing here. Give me 1 second here. I was not even showing you guys anything, I don't think. But let's go back to this. Just on it. I think when I clicked on it, it gave me a different window. So, yeah, I did. Give me 1 second here. I apologize. I'm having technical difficulties here. Thanks for staying with me here. So I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to stop that screen, and I'm going to share the screen involving what I was talking about, because for some reason, this thing decided to share the wrong thing. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at this again. Thank you guys for staying with me here. So here is, if you stay, this is what the cottages will look like. I was basically talking to myself because the thing didn't click over to this one. Make sure you guys could see it. Okay, here we are. So this is the cottages. Hickory, the aspen, the mulberry, and you can see this is very luxurious. The sycamore and the birch. If you guys look at this, this is very, very, very nice. RV sites, and you can kind of see here what it'll kind of be like experience-wise. If I go back to the home page, you can see more so what it's going to look like in the background over here. You'll see the RV campers here, here. For some reason, the vortex is really highlighted here. I don't know why. I don't think you would be able to see vortex from this park, but I could be wrong. Drop tower. Here's the Eiffel Tower and Vertigo. So the drawings may be off in the background a little bit, but you can kind of get the picture of what this place is going to kind of look like. It's going to be very close to the actual park. Here's some of the amenities. So there's going to be a bunch of pools here. This is some of the amenities that they're going to offer here for the pools. So you have that one, and then you're going to have Deerfield Springs, Kingfisher Landing. And then as we go more to the amenities, it's going to just talk about probably the shopping in the area. The Coyote Creek camp store. Here's some of the resort features. Hang out with the Phoenix gang, rent a golf cart, Little Miami walking trail and fitness room, 9 Bark Park, Wi-Fi, laundry services, and bathhouses. So we're going to click out of this here, and I'm going to show you how close it is to the park. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out here. I don't know why. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, so this is the main park. So as you can see right here, if you were to head up 71 and get off on Kings Mill Road, you're going to make a left here. And if see, this is what's really weird about this. So there's a McDonald's. So hold on just a second. Looking for the McDonald's. McDonald's over here. I don't. Anyways, I believe this is the location of the new resort. Let me double check. Okay. Well, as I'm talking about this thing, so um, I'm looking for the location of this because I thought it was right over here. This doesn't seem to be the spot that it would be at here. This map's a little outdated too, so it's kind of throwing me off. I'm thinking that, okay, so there's a McDonald's right here. I'm thinking it's right here, and I think I'm right. So yeah, it's going to be right here. I don't know why I was thinking it was across the way. But no, it's going to be right here. So you can see, okay, took me a second because the illustration that they gave me, because we got it in a media release. So basically off Kings Mill Road here, and then you're going to have Kings Island Drive, Kingsview, and then this is where the resort's going to be at. Now, you can see there's potential for a lot of expansion here, but starting off, I think they're only using from like right here to right here. And it's right off the interstate, unfortunately. But hopefully they could get some noise canceling walls or something like that over here. But yeah, you can see how close it is to the park. And that would explain why Invertigo and the Bat were present and being able to be seen from this. Also, you can see the close proximity from this new campground, which is right here. And I think they're talking about the trail that runs all the way down here. So I think they're going to offer a connection to this trail eventually. That would allow you to go for a walk down there. But you can see there's a bunch of food options over here. You have the Great Wolf Lodge right here. And it's only within 5 minutes of the park. Now, it's not technically on park property, but Kings Island will own this park. So if we look at the future of this park, so we're going to go scroll down here to, obviously I must have clicked something wrong because I'm over here zooming out looking like an idiot. Okay, so here's Kings Island right here. Okay. So as you know, they removed Vortex. And let's see if Vortex is still listed on here. Hold on, I'm gonna make it. Looks like it's been removed. From what I could see. I guess it's still listed on here. Yep. Anyways, this plot of land that they recently redid over here for Vortex, they leveled it out, I think is going to be more concentrated for family attractions. And I think if we see any type of coaster here in the future, I think we're looking at possibly a Mack Rides Power, a launch coaster, kind of like what um, you could find over at Carowinds with Copperhead Strike. And I'm going to show you guys that here. And this is the type of coaster I think would come to that area because it's more family friendly. I'm not saying Orion's not family friendly, but more than likely, people that are going to the park with family aren't. Their kids are going to be kind of petrified or scared of the coaster because it's 300 feet tall, and they need something more family orientated. And I think we're going to see a lot of Cedar Fair parks orientate themselves towards family friendly atmospheres just to attract that type of crowd that will stay at the Great Wolf Lodge, that will stay over at Cedar. What's the name of the new one? Camp Cedar. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. I'm not going to turn on Coaster Force. Let's see here. There's an actual one from Carowinds here. I guess not. Here's Carowinds' official video. And go ahead and visit Theme Park HG if you'd like. I don't know who. This is that JoJo roll. So you'll see that. And as I'm talking about it, you can see that it's really family friendly. It fits kind of the theme. So that area is known as Rivertown. And I could see Rivertown turning into a theme kind of like this, but obviously it wouldn't be called Copperhead Strike. A family launch coaster that offers thrills for family and roller coaster enthusiasts. And I could see the park adding something like this just because they've had really good luck with Copperhead Strike. And I think they're going to continue that relationship with Mack Rides. And for those of you guys who have been on that coaster, what was your experience with Copperhead Strike? Let me know in the comments. But Camp Cedar is kind of paving the way, like I was talking about, for Cedar Point to be, or Kings Island, sorry. Why do I keep saying Cedar Point? For Kings Island to be a family-oriented park. So we can look at the land that they have, right? Kings Island has a lot of land over here. So they have this space over here. They could use that for a hotel, an actual resort hotel in the future. They also have plenty of space to expand their water park if needed, which their water park's definitely a popular option, especially in the summer, because we all know that it gets really hot in Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, Illinois, especially in the summertime. Sorry, I'm okay. I think I'm back now. I always have difficulty with this during live streams. Funny that would make Kings Island overtake Kings Dominion as a launch coaster capital. You know, I didn't think of that, and that's very true. Here's Carl's comment, just in case, because it's not going to be on the stream later. And yeah, I think Copperhead Strike would be a great addition to Kings Island. Something like Copperhead Strike, I should say. Mac rides the ones that we've been on, featured over in Carowinds and also Silver Dollar City with the Extreme Spinner model. The Extreme Spinner model, also known as Time Traveler, something like that going into a park like Kings Island would be great too. And we need more originality at Kings Island, if you know what I mean. I think they have not added a great coaster in a long time. I I want to say probably their last major addition that ended up being kind of a upsetting decision and ended up hurting the park more so would be Son of Beast. Copperhead Strike type coaster would be awesome. Just a new launch coaster. Yeah, and it would be family friendly. I think Orion is great for eating people. Don't get me wrong, and I think it's a great addition to the park. However, I think majority a majority of the people that are afraid of heights aren't going to ride it. So the park needs something that's extreme but family friendly that can attract, dads and moms to bring their kids on the coaster as well. And I think something as extreme but not as extreme as like something like that. I enjoyed Copperhead more than Fury. Of course, my wife wasn't willing to ride Fury with me, so yeah, that's what I'm saying. So those tall coasters, the Giga coasters, are popular as steel coasters, but for family coasters, I mean, I could think Kings Island has maybe you have the family section, so you have Aerial Flyer. Sorry, I'm freezing up again. You have Aerial Flyer, and then you have Woodstock Express, and then you have stunt backlot stunt coaster, the Bat, Adventure Express, the Racer, and that basically concludes it because I think I think those alone are I think those are the only family coasters they have. So by opening something like that up in the other area that used to house Vortex with a series of other family rides, like flat rides, like maybe an SNS Screaming Swing, things like that, keep people in the area of Rivertown, offer a new exciting experience, brings back the theming to Kings Island more so. Orion kind of did that, but I think the thing that Orion missed a part on was setting records, which Kings Island used to do in the past, and has fallen apart in the last 10 years with under the leadership of Cedar Fair. I mean, you look at their additions, you have Diamondback, which was a great addition for its time. But then you look at the future additions at the park, besides Mystic Timbers, and Orion and Banshee have kind of fallen flat in terms with the public. Hey, Coaster Facts. And that's my point here. I think Kings Island and Cedar Fair is kind of moving more so towards being a destination type of company instead of just building coasters and trying to get people to go there. So by destination park, Cedar Point is a destination park. It has cabins on site, hotels on site. You want to stay there for days at a time. I know many people that stay there for a whole weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or go for like 3 or 4 days. And that's what Kings Island's trying to do. Right now, most of their business is probably coming from locals, and they do stay at Great Wolf Lodge. But since Kings Island isn't owned, it does not own Great Wolf Lodge, they aren't making the profit from it. Yeah, I agree on that. A Mac power launch is not power launch. I don't know what those Pacific coasters are called. I think they are called power launches. I think the Mac coasters are reliable, which hand in hand is one of the most important things for Kings Island and Cedar Fair is reliability. They want reliability. That's why they go with B&M, reliability. I don't know if they'll work with RMC again, just because Steel Vengeance has been kind of a mess. And Steel Vengeance is a great coaster, don't get me wrong. But the thing with Steel Vengeance is Steel Vengeance has so much downtime. It was supposed to run 3 trains instead of 2. So they invested all this money. So the operations aren't where they need to be at. They have so many issues with only being able to run 2 trains, which means that the line doesn't move as fast as Cedar Point wants. Cedar Point wants all their coasters to run fast, 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 fast in terms of line speed. That's why you see them go with Intamin and B&M. Unfortunately, after the disaster that was Top Thrill Dragster and was I-305, I know it's not really a disaster, but to Cedar Point it is, because it didn't attract the type of people that they wanted. So in return, they've been going with B&M mainly. If you look at the type of coasters they gone with, GCI reliability, Mac reliability, B&M reliability. So the likelihood of them going back with Instrument and especially RMC is probably not going to happen unless RMC could promise that it's going to be a people eater, which they tried doing that with Steel Vengeance, and I don't think Cedar Fair goes with them again. I've seen Coaster Faxes mentioning Rmc Raptor. I don't foresee Kings Island being that park that adds one, just because Kings Island is a really busy park, and Rmc Raptors, unless you're running a very long course, which would be great, that could be something that Kings Island could aim for next, maybe, is an RMC Raptor. But they would have to make it more tame because the clone models I heard are very intense and they aren't attracting to the general public that actually go to the parks. Now, if they created a really long type of RMC Raptor that broke world records, but maintained the fact that it was still, intense, but not as intense as causing, people to be intimidated by it, I think it would work. So that's a good point, Coaster Facts. And I think we're looking at Mac. I think we're looking at RMC possibly. But those are the only 2 companies that I could think of at the present time that would possibly be the ones to add the next coaster to Kings Island. What I foresee happening in the future more so as the water park being expanded upon. Because a water park could be a multi-day destination, especially in the summertime. So look how small this is. It's still a good water park, but they have all this space they could expand to. So let's say they decide to expand and build on to maybe make the country's longest lazy river around this whole entire park. And then they decide to, because they don't have a water coaster, then they decide to build a water coaster inside the water park. Boom. People are going to want to come here in the Midwest. Obviously, Holiday World's done a lot of success with this with their water park. People stay for multiple days just to go to their water park. And I think other parks are looking at the same factor. Plus, water parks are easier to, a lot cheaper than a roller coaster with the rising cost of steel. But you think it's what Cedar Point in the past hasn't done. They added Orion. They added Banshee, which Banshee, like many people say, is falling victim of the B&M rattle. and I've heard something that has to do with the land. I'm not 100% certain. I don't know how true that is, but it also occupies the former land that sat on, which was the Son of Beast. They still have the ride station over here, so there's some parts of that. But you look at all this land that Kings Island has, and has possibility to expand upon. They could build a terrain coaster over here by the Bat. They could offer a lot of different things here. In the Midwest, it has a Mac Power Splash, so you could see them do that as well. White Water Canyon's kind of aging, so I don't know if they plan on replacing that in the future. But Orion was a huge investment. So in the future, we're probably not going to see a big roller coaster built. I think we see expansion over here. And that expansion over here is going to complement what we're going to have over here, which is Camp Cedar. And like I said, that's going to be right over here. So families are going to want to relax here. And a lot of families in the summertime like to relax at a water park. It's too hot to enjoy coasters, so they wait till nighttime to do that. But you have a lot of expansion plots over here in terms of that. Oh, I have more comments over here. Hold on. They'll want to keep the lift. Okay, we got that. But what will go on the former site? Helix, the Son of Beast. I don't know. Kings Island hopefully has a plan for it. Hopefully to reuse that same station. Maybe an Rmc Raptor, maybe a regular ground up RMC. Shoot the Rapids was a real nail in the Intamin coffin. Yeah, I've heard that from multiple sources, and also Holiday World doesn't work with Intamin anymore after that. Intamin took a lot of risks back then, but since then, I think the company's more sound, and I think they make more sound coasters now than what they have in the past. But I also heard Top Thrill Dragster was also one of the nails in the coffin because they've had a lot of issues with it. They are very pleased with the world record-breaking coasters that they received from Intamin. Maverick was successful, but then they've had nothing but issues with Top Thrill Dragster and Maverick. I don't know if Intamin in the past had a lot of issues with the LSM launches, but I know now with them opening up Hagrid's, they obviously have perfected the LSM launches. Now Hagrid's is the most complex coaster ever built, so 7 launches on a coaster is a lot of launches that also serve as obviously block points. And Whitewater Canyon and Congo Falls are aging a lot. I agree, and I think Congo Falls would be a perfect location for a new Mac Power Splash. And then Kings Island, if they choose to do so, could claim that as a water coaster, or just as a regular coaster, or just as a regular water ride. Now, Six Flags has claimed it as a roller coaster or water coaster, so they added it into their coaster lineup. And I could first see Cedar Fair adding a first in its chain somewhere. Now, we're not going to see anything in 2021 besides Camp Cedar, but in 2022, which is also the 50th for Kings Island, I could see them doing something, either a water park expansion or adding some sort of new expansion to the park. But I don't see a new coaster coming until probably 2024 to the park, and that would probably be something along the lines, like I said, of Mac. Now, they were adding a coaster every 3 years, but the pandemic is going to put a crunch on it and delay projects a year. The water park needs an update fast, especially with the beach and Coney Island being what they are. Yes, and with those two places basically shutting down, definitely Kings Island needs to look at upgrading that and adding to it and expanding their water park. And that makes it a multi-destination park. More people go to Camp Cedar and stay multiple days. More people go to Great Wolf Lodge. You'll see more money spent in the park. And I think that's something that Cedar Fair has been concentrating on. You look over at Carowinds, and if you look over at Carowinds, they added that, I think it's a Spring Hill Suite or Courtyard at the Marriott, and they added that to add an on-site hotel. And I heard more is to come. There was kind of a test mark of what they could do, and they tested it out in Carowinds, and I heard they're going to add more of that across the chain. Now, obviously, Cedar Point has their own park hotels, and they've done a pretty good job with those. But Cedar Point's right on Lake Erie. It's a destination park. You could do water sports. You could go to the park. You go to the water park. Cedar Point takes a minimum of 2 days to get through everything. It's a huge park. Kings Island could be that way, but the thing is, I think a lot of the problems we see with Kings Island. Sorry, I think a lot of the problems we see with Kings Island. I think Cedar Fair is a lot of the main reasons why we haven't seen the progress that we should with the park like Kings Island. Throwing out an idea here, Cedar Fair needs to add a water coaster. I agree, and especially in their water parks. The cost effectiveness of it, it's a popular ride with the general public, and it is a good people eater. It attracts people from afar. Holiday World has shown that their water park has been successful because of those water coasters they have added. And I would like to see Cedar Fair do the same. They've been adding a lot of drop slides and things of that nature, but for the most part, water coasters are what attracts a lot of people. And I think that would put their water park as more of a destination park. They just have to do something big with pro slides, because obviously it would go through pro slides, since pro slides does a lot of the technology. Now, Holiday World being as close as it is to Kings Island, which is not that close. I mean, what is it, like 3 hours? But um, they added the new, uh, power launch, water powered water coaster, which is the first ever. And I think, yeah, they need to do that in the future. Now, if you look at the whole area that Kings Island is surrounded by, unfortunately, this is what's going to plague a lot of issues in the future for world record-breaking coasters. Yeah, the subdivision over here, over here, over here. So, like I said, I think we're going to see more of the water park getting expanded, more family type coasters. They're not going to be doing any type of Orion type coasters anymore. So, Orion is their tallest coaster in the park. It will be, but I think we see a record breaking coaster. I think an RMC would go over here by the Bat, and I think a Mac is going to go over here by the old spot to where Vortex used to be at. I don't know why I keep on going back over here by where Beast is at. But yeah, I think it goes right over here. And like Coaster Facts mentioned, so you can see the Beast station. Maybe add type of the same type of theming, because you have Mystic Timbers over here, and then you have the Beast, and then you had Vortex, which didn't really work with the area. So I think the next coaster is going to work with the theming of Rivertown, which goes all the way down here to where Mystic Timbers is at. And I think this whole area is going to keep that theme for a while. We have Area 72 over here that keeps the theming of Orion. So anything that gets added over here is going to have to keep with the same theming. What are they going to do with this area, though? This area is not really themed. It's just kind of, I know this area right here, it's kind of like the thrill area of the park, but it's not really a themed area. And I think something needs to complement the Bat over here. Tons of space. Maybe an on-site hotel right here, which Great Wolf Lodge wouldn't like. So I think they would build it down here instead, or right here. Well, let me know what you think by commenting. I just think in the future we're looking at Kings Island being a destination park, and I think Camp Cedar is the perfect example of that. And I'm going to show you. Eh, that's funny. But I could just bring it up here and show you what it's looking like. And I'm going to go over here. Uh, I don't know what's going on over here. Hold on. And you can just look over here with the photos that I don't know why I was doing that, but you can see kind of like they're bringing in the cabins right now over in the area. And this is from Buckeye Coasters. And let's see. I don't know why these photos aren't big. But anyways, yeah, you can kind of see what they're doing. They're doing a lot of good. And Camp Cedar, I'm going to see if I can find like a YouTube rendering of what this park is going to look like. So hold on just a second. I can't let you guys see my email, but I've got an email from them, and I'm going to show you the flyover in case you guys didn't catch that when we shared it last week. Just give me just a second here. And I'm going to go, Congo Falls get replaced by a Eurofighter. I don't think they go with the Gerstlauer. I haven't seen any Cedar Fair parks go with one besides Knott's. So, and a lot of people have criticized that heavily for some reason. Sorry, just give me just a second here. Cedar Point sent me, or Kings Island sent me this last week, and I'm just trying to find it. But it has the video that I could show you guys. There it is. Here we go. Okay. So now I can bring you guys back online here. I just couldn't let you guys see. Here we go. Share audio. Okay. So now you guys can see what I'm seeing. So I'm going to go over here, and you guys can see kind of the full renderings. This. All right. I got to do one at a time here, but you can see this is the aerial of it. And this is what it currently looks like. So, all right. You kind of see the aerial of it. Can you guys see that? You guys can see it. Okay, good. Let's see what he says here. It's only festivals and celebrations for 21, 22. I'd like the kids area, the water park update. Well, walls and rocks can't be climbed on. Yeah, that's all kids want to do. What do you think Kings Island will be doing for their 50th? I think they'll be doing parades. I think they'll be doing a bunch of celebration, a bunch of retro type things, and I think they're going to announce something big. Or I think there's going to be an expansion that's going to happen that year. Just no roller coasters or anything like that. I'm not going to Camp Cedar unless I'm invited since I'm local. Yeah, that's why I said it's more of a destination type thing because that's what they're trying to aim for. And you can see right here, they had all these plots laid out. And this is the recent stuff that they gave us. They're going to provide more stuff to us in the future, but hold on. I'm having issues with this. Oh my God. Sorry, it's acting up. And here's the drone footage I was telling you guys about. I'm going to make this bigger here so you guys can see the full video. And you can see right here. So here's that. Sorry. I want to expand this. You can see here's the Wendy's. Here's the McDonald's. Here's that road I was telling you about. And it leads all the way to the back over here. And then to the back of the turtles or something up here. Sorry, I'm having problems with this. This is definitely an issue. But you can see, I'm going to put my mouse back on here. You can see it's a pretty good amount of space here. Like I said, I think they're going to put walls up here to block it because I wouldn't want to look at that if I'm staying at a luxury campground. But you can see the much space as it occupies, and it's kind of hilly back here. And there's residential housing. So if they're going to expand it, they're going to do it right back to here. But this is the footage that Kings Island provided us. And you guys got to see it too. And here's one of the renderings here. Okay, so you kind of see what they did here. Here's that main pool, and it looks like they are going to put some sort of wall up here or fencing, so you won't be able to see that. And they're going to line this with trees, so you won't be able to see any of that. It looks like there's going to be some fishing ponds back here. It's a really nice. Don't get me wrong; it's really nice what they're doing here, and they're making it a destination park, and that's awesome. And I think your comments kind of throw out the ideas of what they plan in the future. You guys kind of agree with me on that. I think Cedar or Kings Island. Oh my God, I talk about so much of the same stuff with both of them. The difference is Kings Island actually has space to expand upon. But I'm going to go and conclude this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks again for commenting on everything. I hope you guys also enjoyed the renderings and things of that nature of Camp Cedar coming to Kings Island in the spring of 2021. Check it out on the website. If you just go to Kings Island's website, it'll give you the option and it'll say Camp Cedar and it'll highlight everything that I showed you guys today. But yeah, I think they're going to build another on-site location besides Camp Cedar. The only thing I don't agree with on here is that they didn't offer any campsites. So I wish they would offer campsites for campers. Do you think Congo Falls and White River Canyon numbers are up? Maybe this season because the water park wasn't open. But other than that, no, I don't. I don't foresee them keeping those more than another 5 to 8 years. Congo Falls, I think, is going to be gone before White River Canyon or White Water Canyon. I mean, but thanks again for your guys' comments. Have a great rest of your day today, and I'm going to try to do more live of these videos to get interactions from you guys. We're going to talk about Kentucky Kingdom tomorrow. And I'm going to get input from one of my team members, Zach, because he goes to Kentucky Kingdom a lot to try to get what we think the future of Kentucky Kingdom is going to hold. But we hope you enjoyed this live broadcast. Have a great rest of your day and watch future live videos and more videos dropping down for Midwest Coaster fans. And please be sure to hit that subscribe button. Once we hit 2,000 subscribers, we are giving away a Cedar Fair Pass or a Six Flags Gold Pass. We've already announced that. Also, please watch our last video from Busch Gardens, Tampa, that highlights everything there, and you get to see Iron Gwazi lit up in Christmas tree lights. So, with that being said, have a great one. Peace. I'm out.